Welcome to a Vyakti journey, Mohini Didi, the living light. Stories of spirituality that inspire and illuminate. So now I'd like to invite our dear angel Sister Body. Welcome.
Thank you, Bhumi. Good evening and welcome, Brother Dev, on this very wintry evening to the warmth of Peace Village. So, Dev, you have a story for us, which might even be to do with Peace Village, right?
Yes. Om Shanti. You can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So since we're in Peace Village, the story chosen is of an incident or an experience in Peace Village. So here is the story. Many years ago, there was a retreat of the VIPs at Peace Village. Usually, every retreat is supported by Sevadaris so that the retreat can run smoothly and people can have best experience. For some reason, that weekend, we had relatively less Sevadaris. And on top of that, the dishwashing machine in the kitchen was broken.
Mm-hmm.
So the only two brothers, myself and one more, who were available that weekend, were assigned for dishwashing and pot washing. The cooking was special since it was a VIP retreat, which meant more pots and pans and more dishes to wash. We both started washing after breakfast for more than 2 hours, and then again the same task after lunch and dinner. So pretty much the whole day we were doing this seva. The next morning, Didi was reading Avik Murli. In the Murli, Baba was talking about who will become worthy of worship souls and how at the confluence stage they accumulate so many blessings that they become bestowers of blessings on the path of devotion. While reading the Murli, Didi paused and asked the question, who will accumulate the most blessings here? For a moment, there was silence in the class. Then Didi looked at both of us and said, these two brothers will accumulate the most blessings. They have been washing pots the whole day and they look so tireless. Then she added, I will only receive a few blessings this weekend and you both will receive much more than me. And the values observed in this story: observation, observe, acknowledge, and appreciate. So that's the story.
Before we invite our beloved sister, can you tell me what the experience was of receiving that blessing?
Can you experience of?
The blessing that was given to you by Sister Mohini. What was your experience?
So, by the way, this is the story I wrote. So that's why Sister Wadi is asking this question. So obviously, that the feeling and the experience was that, this will be real for me, and that didn't expect that we would be noticed in this way, or it's a VIP retreat, like we were doing just our task that was given to us. But when we heard this, the feeling was that, wow, that is such a beautiful thing to hear from, senior, and that will be the truth, that will become true. That was a feeling.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, So now Didi can join us. Welcome, Sister Mohini. Do you remember this incident? Do you remember this incident?
I don't remember, but
No.
I can relate.
I'm curious. Again, was it the work itself that drew the blessing, or was it that you saw it? Doesn't the work by itself, isn't there automatically blessings within the work itself? And is it possible that I could become dependent on someone acknowledging the work that I've done, you know, that
I think that Brahma Baba, you must have seen doing karma yoga together with everyone. Every kind of karma yoga, there is one very difficult task is to rolling chapati is one thing, but there is something they call it papad. So rolling that is quite hard, and you have to roll it very thin. But Brahma Baba will sit with them, and then we saw dadis. And one time it happened that there were few brothers. They were working until late. So then they came. I heard the story and said to that sister that if it was Dadi Janki, she would have looked for us, would come with the container of tolis. And that gives such a big feeling. So, but that doesn't happen here. And then there was one, you know, he was a guest, but kind of IP. And so he was given the duty of dishes, right? So it was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It didn't stop, but nobody even went to say, to release him to go for lunch. You know, so what I'm saying that it's our part of duty actually, that when, you know, now I don't walk around or go in the kitchen, but we have to make sure that, you know, whatever anyone is doing is not too much for, you know, we can just, even if we would have asked those guests, you know, later on, a few years or months after, we thought some of the guests wanted to go in the kitchen to do karma yoga, you know, so they went and they start washing dishes. So that means if we tell people we need help, because they had been sitting and eating whole day, they were fed and hospitality. And if you tell them to come in the kitchen and do some karma yoga, they will be very happy. We can't give them cooking and all that. So in that small, inside there is a small dining room. So we were having birthday for one of the Nivasi. So those who were washing dishes, IPs, they all heard that happy birthday song. So we invited them to come. So join cutting cake, and then they went out and they told everyone we had big celebration and we were just washing pots there, and oh, why we were not invited? We should have been invited. But what this person said, if you want to be part of family, you have to be in the kitchen doing something, you know, or in dining room where. So I feel that there is importance of karma yoga, but also it is important. Assigning is a big job. Assigning, so many people are there, but inspiring others also. You know, sometimes I say, oh, you just announce this, you will see how another 6, 8 will come, and it will be done very quickly, because I believe that our cooperation should be such that not only 1 or 2 left and we all went in our rooms. This little bit care amongst ourselves in the family can really be very encouraging. I say to them, even if you are passing and you see someone chopping vegetables, do you need, just say, do you need help? Even that person might say, I'm fine. But at least say that, you know, oh, no, that's their duty. This is not today, I'm not doing that. So sometimes the way I am brought up as Baba's child in Yagya, as an unlimited family, I will always make sure that we all share. And you will be surprised that most active all the time actually is kitchen, because starts at tea time, and then is breakfast, then is snacks, then is lunch, then another snacks, then dinner, and nighttime herbal tea, right? So it goes on. And that means so many cups, so many, of course, sometimes we use paperware, but that becomes a lot too. So I think that this whole feeling of yagya and also as a family, it is very, very important. So whether I acknowledge, it's not question of dependency,
Mm-hmm.
but it is more I did from my heart, because, but as I'm saying that now, if there is any chance I come to know, like, few come to me that I was given so much and I couldn't manage. There are some new ones, right? At home, they have never done that much. So I say, no, give them, like, sensibly, so that they all can do it. But I always say, wherever I am, even once I was in Brazil, mostly after public program, by the time we come is 8:39. So it was Wednesday. Now next morning is Thursday. And these souls really do it. Clean kitchen, prepare, wash everything. They really prepare for Thursday morning. So I said, we all had good dinner. I said, we're not going up. We all will sit here. Each one of us will do something. And everything finished in half an hour, and they went. But generally, what will happen? Those two or one, we have to clean kitchen, have to prepare for next morning, and everyone has gone in the room. So I think that I like, actually, I'm saying it loud so that everyone hears me, that within the family, this whole thing of helping hand, cooperation, and of course acknowledge and appreciate too,
Mm-hmm.
those who had been cooking all day, and we just eat and have a chat, and if we like it or not, find out recipes and come back,
Mm-hmm.
but not from our heart even say thanks to them, or even go and acknowledge it was very good, what you all did for us. I think this kind of feelings are very, very important, very comforting, empowering, and I think they are real feelings.
Oh, for
So,
sure, for sure.
mhm.
I mean, because you've been there yourself, you've done all those things yourself. Baba said in Murli this week, and it caught my attention because he used the English word. He said that cooking and serving is a subject, and he used the English word subject. Which contains a lot of secrets, I think. And then, just as you're saying, an old brother from Miami was sharing with me today how once, I don't know where it took place, but he was just a young brother, whatever, and he was sitting there, and all of a sudden you came over and you said you haven't eaten yet, and you gave him a plate of food. And he was so touched by that, that you had noticed. So this thing of noticing, of observing, and Daddy Janky, I used to wonder how she did this. She could be sick upstairs in her bed for the last week, and she'll tell you, go downstairs, go to such and such a dabba or box, and this is the tola you will find, and this is how many pieces will be in it. I think, how did she know that? Because she wasn't downstairs. But this is what I see, that fine, I might be okay in my own little domain, but this wide angle vision that all of you exemplify. And so I was wondering, all information has to come to you. You know everything, Mohini Ben, from the beginning of the yagya. You even know things on regions that we don't even know about. You know about all the people, you know about all the situations, and wondering also if you have you know, people that you can rely on to give you information, not big stories, but where that nowadays, do you find that just by getting the essence, you know the whole story? And is there a burden with that of having so much information? I mean, I can tell you about Miami, but not a lot more. But you have to tell me about, you know, about the whole BK world.
One thing before that, I just want to say that, you know, whenever the Toli comes, right? Let's say I send Toli to London, right? Or anyone, even locally makes Toli. So that person will say, I sent Toli, did you taste it? Now, if the sisters haven't shown me, I don't say, no, I don't, because I don't want to. I said, oh, it came. I was told I will taste later. What I'm saying, it is expected that we should see the Toli, we should taste the Toli, and we tell them how the Toli was. This is how Dadi Janki might be knowing how much, because whenever I took Toli, she will say how many numbers, because then she think when to feed that Toli, because special Toli I want to feed tomorrow morning, I want to feed Sunday morning. You know, this is how Brahma Baba, when the fruits came, you know, he used to, so in his room, how to set mangoes and bananas and, you know, some very special fruits used to come. I think this love also for Toli and fruits is like valuing things, you know,
Yes.
because Yagya is not only giving lectures, right? You need everything. You need fruits, you need food, you need everything. So as much we take interest, like Boli Dadi will go every morning at 7 before Dadiji goes for Murli to discuss what will be Brahma Bhojan today. And they both will talk about it. And so I think there is importance of keeping information of Yagya. Now, see again, how do we hear stories, you know, in the sense of, if you understand, you know, don't allow too much your intellect and start making comments, you know, this is always like that. That is because people have habit of digging information, bringing stories. And I don't know, I just keep essence. I keep listening to as much I want. I listen, but I keep as much as necessary. I was sharing earlier that, you know, once there was a big accident on the road and Baba's children were going home from retreat. They were part of that big retreat. And so I'm seeing, like, you know, dead bodies and helicopter. And they were waiting. They, you know, they heard that I am coming, but traffic was completely blocked for 2 hours. We couldn't move. Anyway, finally, when we moved, and Kalaban was with me, but she had her phone off, so they were trying to call. And when I reached, they all police, and oh, they just said, Chief has come. Okay, what should we do? Tell your people they're not going. I said, well, those who have to go home, go. Those who have to go, you know, like we had to disperse that, our crowd, Brahmin crowd, because all the cars, they just stopped to see what is going on. And nobody wanted to leave because they thought they might have to help in some way. But then how much one can hold those scenes? So I see it, I only remember the best part of, in the end, how everything went and how police appreciated, how we helped them. So it depends on what you take in and what you don't. And I'm very careful in taking in, because if it goes in, it doesn't, you know, somewhere, someday, everything will come in front of you again. Once we had just moved to White House, now we call it a Vyakti Bhavan, first time, and we all came for retreat. Ratan Mohini Dadi had come. So when we went, there was break-in first time. And when we went, everything was on floor and rooms, like everything was open. But I didn't want it to see anything. You know, I said, okay. And I try not to even recollect, because then that thought stays. And then that fear comes. And then so many emotions connected with that scene. So I think we all have to keep Baba in between, look at the scene, listen to the story, sorrow, suffering, pain, so much is happening these days. But Baba will help. Baba has to listen. So I listen in such a way, keeping Baba in front, let Baba help these souls. I don't say, okay, I will help you. I will give you Sakash. Even they say it, I said, sure. But I know that it's karmic accounts and only Baba can remove, right? Baba can remove the sorrow and give happiness. So I think that, yes, it's a big family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in these days, every day at least there is one sister leaves body every day. You all won't know, but in India, so in our rosary, Madhuban rosary, uh, this sister died, this sister left. So what you say? Give good wishes to them wherever these souls are. 110 left body in COVID, and they all were seniors. Someone was telling me yesterday that one brother was visiting, that the sister invited me, but he left. She left body, but another one left body next. Because when COVID happened, then 2, 3 went together. So many centers. So I got the whole list. I told them, send me the list because we want to pay respect to them. Then I wrote to Ratan Mohini Dadi that on behalf of Yagya, because they surrendered to Yagya, a good message should go for everyone. So after that, little tradition has been formed that, they should be given some respects, and those souls who have served for 30 years, 40 years, 45 years, many are leaving body because it's the age also. Plus these days, still no, so many different kinds of virus. And so I think that it's very, very important for us to hear, but keep what I need to keep and
Mm-hmm.
give, let, as if they are sharing with Baba. When Baba had to come in Dadi Gulzar, one day before they allow everyone, those who have something important to share. So someone shared service, someone shared their difficulties, whatever, and she is listening as if Baba is listening. Because otherwise, but again, because she has to tell Baba, get some message for them or blessings for them. So up to certain extent, you remember, you share with Baba, and then you make it as a scene of drama, you know. But some
Yeah.
people sit and talk about those stories and they keep going on and on. I think that's not necessary.
Wow. So you never have the experience of an overload of information,
Yeah,
of news, because it's not just to inform you, but usually
mm,
they're needing something from you as well.
yeah,
Do you never, I suppose, like the same way that Brother Dev saying that they
yeah,
kept working with the pots and everything and they didn't get tired. And so this is the spiritual service, but yeah, your blessings, I guess, that you receive as a result of that must
there,
also
yeah,
help, no?
yeah. There was a time, few years ago, when I, I had to meet 22 teachers from one country, one after another. So I used to stay in the room across Dadi Janki's room in Indraprasth. So they will come. So after meeting 10, 12, I was very tired. And I told them, can I take break? Because then we can meet little later. And then I said, why I'm tired? What is making me tired? And I realized it is my expectation from them. And as soon as I realized, I just quickly said, I will only listen, and from my pure heart, whatever are my suggestions, I will give. And then I said, okay, let me finish. And they start coming. Another 11 when I met, I didn't feel anything after that. So I realized that tiredness is coming somewhere where you either disappointed or you expected something more, but they didn't show you that, and their dharna is not as it should have been. And there, there will always be difference in what my stage and dharna or anyone, because everyone is on their own journey and everyone is at their own stage. So once Manor Dadi said, when I was very young, and of course efficient and clever in many ways, if you expect others to be like you will always be disappointed in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone has one's own part to play. They will do what they could do.
Yeah.
So this expectation is one thing and bhavana is another thing. So now I realize that we need to have bhavana for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
for their spiritual growth, for their, whatever well-being, but not expectations.
Yeah.
So I change it more towards having a pure bhavana, pure vision towards every Baba's child, that they should be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Everything should be good with them. I was telling sisters that I can't do a lot now physically. You all do, but I do yoga and also share with all of you so that you all can keep doing properly. You all
Mm-hmm.
keep good health and everything. So I think that it big stories do come, and sometimes you are kind of oh, can this happen? But it is happening. It's real. But how can I help? So what I have recent practices, I go a lot into solitude and I see what Baba has to say, because what is expected of me is answer for his solution or another way of doing things. And that only Baba can help me, no one else. And I don't want to be necessarily influenced by what others want me to do, because Brahma Baba one time, Didi Mohini was telling something, and Brahma Baba, don't try to influence me. I have to listen to Shiv Baba.
Wow.
So I don't forget that. I always say
Mm-hmm.
that whatever I have to say has to be what Baba tells me,
So you
and not.
never have a sweet argument with Baba. You never allow yourself to make any excuses, right? To Baba.
No,
No.
no excuse in
Way
that.
past that.
Yeah, no excuses, but also
No.
see. I think when somebody has to play a part, then you have to grow with those abilities, right?
Mm,
Or
mm,
specialties. And now I see that, and then luckily with a Vyakti Parivar and this all homework practices, and it's not only I really do it whole day, whatever homework we take, that helps me a lot also.
mm,
Because then, as Baba said, your mind and intellect is more subtle, more clear, more
mm,
connected with Baba. So you get very clear. Sometimes even I haven't heard completely, an answer is there. So I
mhm,
know that Baba has guided, okay. So I listen, but I know that this is how it should be and it could be. This is how. Definitely, I feel that this Avyakti Parivar, I don't know how Baba has given us this, so that those who want to sincerely make efforts, at least we have 1 point per day. And it's increasing, no more leaves and practices, solitude and, concentration, everything is improving. I get a lot of beautiful emails from people how the changes which are happening in their lives by
Do you make
regularly.
any connection? Perhaps not. Humility probably wouldn't allow it, but your progress, and I'm not talking now about giving classes and things, but that your internal progress is making us also move forward. A more subtle blessing, if you like.
Yeah,
Do
we
you?
all, yeah, it's amazing that how we are together every evening now for 18 months now almost. And so it's collective efforts are always like brings a lot of joy. and lightness, and sharing is very good. I recently had been realizing how important it is, as if I am being invoked at 7 o'clock. And maybe that invocation of the souls are helping me to continue. If that wouldn't happen, maybe I will say today I'm not doing it, or
Wow.
maybe I don't have much to share. But I just feel, because when I come, gallery is full. One gallery is full, second is full. It's all full. So it's the invocation must be happening. So of Baba, but also I feel that, and that gives me a lot of inspiration and strength, and I share whatever I feel.
Yeah.
Mm. Anyway, welcome to Peace Village Body
Thank you so much. I'll see you in a minute. This is nice to be able to pop into from one room to the other. And so, Dev, what is your takeaway? Some lovely points. I really like this thing of the connection between the tiredness and having expectations or disappointment of souls. Yeah, it's very nice. Yes, Dev.
Yeah, I think really at the core, it is this quality of care.
Yeah.
And it is that aspect of care that is what, like once makes you observe everything, what's happening, and appreciate and acknowledge. Because if that care is not there, then I don't think these qualities actually will emerge. So that was very beautiful. This, at the very core, it is this caring for the members of the family. And I also, connecting back to last Friday's conversation, I think Didi is saying protecting the self is so important. And that's why whatever we hear have to kind of be essential and not take too much. Otherwise, it will influence our own thinking and our decision making. So that's also kind of, I feel today it came up again, protecting the self so that the listening is according to that. Then essentially, we don't take too much of information into ourselves.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
So what you take in and what you keep. Yeah. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you. You also still find stories, right?
We have more stories.
Okay, thank you. And
It's good.
yeah.
We're getting to know you better.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you.